성립. 그렇기 때문에 기독교는 독신생활 고차적인 불교 같은 종교도 독신생활하지 않으면 안 되는 것이 원칙이 된 것이 이러한 기본에서 유래됐다는 것은 그 누구도 모른다.
I tell you, from the God point of view, in our fallen world, no one is even one woman or one man eligible to get married. This is why Christian culture is centered upon celibacy, single life, because no one is entitled to marry. And furthermore, therefore, only you establish yourself on a GL foundation alone, you are entitled to marry.
기성교회 목사들 기성교회 잘 믿는 사람들 잘 살더만 그 원칙에 입각해니 천지가 낫겠죠.
So the Christian ministers, the Christian churches, they think they're doing it perfectly all right inside of God. They are not perfectly all right.
레버런드이 여러분을 축복해주면 이 원칙에 입각해서
Reverend Moon gave you blessing. They gave you blessing only upon the GL principle or GL foundation. Nothing else.
그래서 여기에서 사는 사람이 이제 오늘 내는 것이 이제 통일교회 가족들은 전부 다 부모님이 말하는 말을 배우지 않으면 하나나라에 가는데 문제가 걸린다.
So today, this morning at the pledge service, Father taught the representative of unification leaders. Those children of the unification church belong to true parents. Should be able to speaking the mother tongue. Mother tongue, that is original world mother tongue. That is Korean.
What is the mother tongue for Mooney?
What is your mother tongue? Mooney.
No.
English is the mother tongue. Yes or no?
Miserable country. What is the Mooney's mother tongue? Korean man, Korean language. I don't know, same. Huh? Korean man, Korean language.
Yes, Father.
Both. You need both.
You need both. You need Father said. You need the Korean language and the Korean man.
그래서 영어를 하기 때문에 미국 서양 사람들이 말이야. 한국 여자, 한국 남자 결혼을 했다고. 서양 미인, 서양 남자 한 분위기를 내면서 꼴내고 있고 한국 남자, 한국 여자.
The blessing time comes, Father feels an incredible problem because so many Westerners come, Father, Korean man, please. Korean man. He doesn't have too many Korean men in his pocket. And Korean, Korean men.
Korean men are so handsome. Dark face, brown eye, black eye.
Korean man is not so handsome, except Father. Furthermore, Korean man is very short. And the Korean men smell kimchi.
그거 왜 그래? 서양 사람 모르죠. 그거 왜 무늬들이 그래? 아이고. 그러니까 이것이 크레이지. 브레인와시 돼서 크레이지.
Something tells the Mooney men, Mooney women, something they want to connect to the Korea, father's country, mother tongue, mother people, motherland people. Why? Something tells you the importance of this thing, is telling you that is the original world and the center. Therefore, from the outside point of view, the Moonies are crazy. That's why they say, you're crazy, you're all brainwashed. That's what they say. Because there's no other way they can understand, they can comprehend, except branding you're crazy and you're brainwashed.
너 크레이지라고 브레인와시했던 사람들은 반장 사람들은 우리가 또 그 사람들을 브레인할 수 있는 사람들은 아니었다.
But you know, however, those who say to you, you are crazy, you are brainwashed, and we have a power to brainwash that very person. No problem.
확실히 여기서 미국 책임자로부터 지금까지 한국 간부 대가리 탄 끝나서 터지고 몰라.
But even from the leaders of American churches, Korean leaders and other national leaders, even leaders did not know, fully realize the importance of such point. Importance.
죽고자 하는 자는 죽고 살고자 하는 자는.
So, what would you say? Would you answer to Father? Those who seek to his life, will find it. Is yes or no? No. those who are trying to lose his life will lose it. Yes or no?
어디야 돼? 어디야 돼?
Then what would you say? He who seek his life for his own sake will. Those who seek his life, those who seek to lose his life for Christ's sake will.
그건 세탄 슬러브 윈하고 가스러브 윈 이거 다.
So this one phrase so drastically demonstrates that the two realms of love God is talking about. One is Satan's realm, the other is God's realm. You have to give up one to obtain the other.
여러분이 이부 자식 좋아하는 그런 신랑 이부 자식 좋아하는 부모가 있어?
You know, no parents like stepson, stepdaughter.
어?
Even though they have a relationship, but they really don't appreciate that. No parent does that, do they?
어?
No.
그 셋이가 만약에 데리고 있는 갖고 있는 애기에서 애기를 버리든가 팔아먹든가 없애고 자기한테 어느 걸 좋아해 데리고 오는 걸 좋아해. 우리 사람들 세계에서.
You know, common social thinking that you want to remarry. They happen to be your girl has already previous marriage, have a couple of girls or boys, children there. So when you are marrying with the woman, with the children, previous husband, children, that the husband is welcome, human nature to welcome, embrace, or upon duty, unto duty to receive it. But what does human nature say? Well, I wish that no children there, only my wife, women can come as my wife. Is that true?
미국 사회는 어디래?
What about America? Same thing? True?
너들만 보면 쌤이야?
That's the way human nature works here, also in America?
하나님은 하나님. 너들 누구 닮았어?
Oh, you think that in that fashion, that where your characteristic comes from God.
하나님이 사탄 사랑하던 새끼를 데려다 내 양자 같다 내 스텝슨 내 같다 좋다.
Do you think God would think differently or same? Do you think God will say, well, even though they're Satan's children, come on, okay, well, I accept you. Satan's children, so what? So I will clean them up and make into a little new diaper and make into a new child. I will make a child of God.
하나님은 번연의 하나님으로서 자기 아들 딸을 사랑하는 것으로서 역사가 출발하게 될지 원수 사탄을 사랑하는 걸 대할 수 있는 하나님 어떤 데로 사지를
That is absolutely no. God wanted to have history began with his own children, his own true children, unstained children. God did not want to have satanic children borrowed to make an adopted son and a stepson to make a history. That's not the God's wishes.
하나님 원리 세계는 뭐 애답션 무슨 뭐 그런 것이 없다고.
So in a true, original, divine principle world, there's no such a thing, adopted son or stepmother, stepson.
양자는 아버지 어머니가 다른 거고 스텝선은 뭐냐 한 가들에 닮은 건데 그것도 그게 원리가 아니에요. 할 수 없는 거라고.
Adopted son. That means the lineage comes from different parents. Stepfather, stepmother. One side of the parent is a different, coming from different lineage. So that is almost half. So therefore, these things, originally speaking, God did not wish to make a mainstream of his history.
그 근본 원칙을 신앙생에서 어디서 그걸 결정하느냐?
So then, how can we, however, the reality is that
사탄이 분리받았어. 사탄이 떨어지지 않는다고. 이거는 내 혈족이야, 내 친척이야, 나와 관계되어 있는 권내에 있는 사람이 내 사람이지. 하나님의 사랑권 내는 본연의 인간을 주관할 수 있는 하나님과는 상관없어. 그거라고.
So, however, it is full of satanic children here. God must do something about it. How then those children in the satanic world can become a children of God? When they deny their life. They say, satanic life, no more. I become a new man and women. I'm connected with you, the true love. That's the only way. That's the reason why you have to seek to lose your life for God's sake. You know, it's absolutely clear, doesn't it?
알아서 몰라서.
Do you follow? Yes or no?
이것을 확실하게 만들었다 이 무리다.
So you, Moody, must know the truth absolutely clear.
난 무슨 뭐 여기 미국 책임자니 무슨 주 책임자니 난 무슨 통신하는 가고 다 이렇게 더 이렇게 지도자때 내가 내 말 들려야지 이거.
You must know this thing clear, particularly from the leadership of the church, state leaders, and the national leaders, and the international leaders. It doesn't make a difference. They think, well, I'm a state leader, or I'm a president of the church of the such a nation, and that would not make any value inside of God until you practice this principle to the letter, without losing even one iota.
그 레버런 문이 지도 방침이 올렸어 골랐어.
So Reverend Moon teaching and leadership, leading, guiding you is wrong direction or correct direction?
He's right.
Father is right or wrong?
살아가는 세계 사람은 하나님의 사랑권을 전달하는 자기 주장을 자기 아무런 1% 0% 있을 수 없다는 사실.
There's no such a thing. When you are heading toward to restore the love of God, there's nothing. There's no value you accumulated from the satanic level. Not even one bit.
사탄의 생명이 붙어 있는 한 사탄은 전혀 붙들고 놔주지 않아.
So you got to separate the Satan. No, but Satan is holding you so tightly. Satan will not go away from you until you do something.
죽음의 꼴을 거쳐가지고 부활할 수 있는 하나님의 사랑권에 부활할 수 있는 사람이래야.
So you must die. Your first life must die in the satanic world and reborn, resurrect in the heavenly world.
하나님 기성교 신앙은 죽어서 천국 가서 죽어서 헛개비 돼가지고 그럴 법이 없어. 하나님의 법이.
The conventional Christian faith, the primarily thinking that, well, when I die, I go to heaven. Stop it, and don't even think about the heaven. Heaven is not the place when you die to go. No, heaven is where you restore the GL. GL here on earth. Not in after you die. Right here. So they have all the Christians of the world who lived, they thought they were living a righteous life here on earth. They would not reach anywhere good. They are in all the middle ground. Even Jesus is in a paradise.
그것이 없는 데서 하나님의 사랑을 주는데 이수가 어떻게 됐어? 십자가에 죽었다는 사람이 핍박받았어. 환영받았어.
So even Jesus Christ, was he in a position to receive the total, unstained, the total genuine love of God here on earth? And welcomed by the world under that in that capacity? Not at all. What was the symbol of the Messiah's crucifixion? Dying on the cross. He was attacked. He was crucified with the satanic power. There was a room for infiltration.
하나님이 걱정 가운데로 3년 같은 걸 내리다 십자가에 로마인이 몰려서 죽어졌대. 하나님이 어째 나를 부르시나이까 이런 말을 성경을 볼 때 이런 건 진짜 얼마나 탄식할 수 있는 하나님의 말인 걸 기독교 지도자는 모르고 있었어요.
The Christians did not know the true agony of Jesus. Agony of Jesus. He was suffering for 3 years in public ministry. Finally, he ended up in crucifixion. He shouted out by saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. Oh my God, why thou forsaken me? Why thou forsaken me? So, even Jesus was trying to establish GL foundation on earth. No, he could not. He could not go up there. For that reason, the coming of the Messiah must be repeated. Second coming is necessary. So the Unification Church, knowing that coming of the Lord, the Messiah, second Messiah, is coming in person, not on the cloud of heaven. Though we are now proclaimed to the world, now the Unification Foundation is greater than the Christian foundation. Time has come to declare.
오늘 기독교가 재림을 받았던 재림주가 오거든 뭘 할 것이냐 사랑의 파문을 세계적으로 번연의 지혜를 통해서 파문을 일으킬 수 있는 조건적인 영역을 만드는 것이 역사상의 제2차 대전 후에 온 세계가 기독교 문화권 중심인 미국의 지휘권에 다 들어갔다. 이 차선을 잃어버렸던 거예요.
So there was a chance that God has given the opportunity that the world can make a GL impact. That was right after World War II. God, destroyed all the, anti-Christian forces of the world, trying to set the foundation. United States was that center. United States. So there was a world upon which the Lord of Second Advent can land, can make an impact, and make that wave spread. That opportunity was here.
Wave spread original GL situation.
That was because God wanted to create
from the beginning.
GL situation. He wanted to give the environment where the dispensation of the Lord coming, be prepared, and so that His job can be done.
기독교 반대, 통일교를 반대. 왜냐면 그냥 적사기를 반대하다 보니 기독교는 망한 거야.
But what happened? After World War II,
세계 판단을 죽기 전에 빨리 만들어가지고 이 사랑의 외부를 세계에 파급할 수 있는 이 운동하려니 오늘의 급진적인 활동을 진행하고 있습니다.
after World War II, the second messianic mission has been spreading and are ready to go. But what happened? That Christianity opposed it. By doing so, Christianity, which was supposed to be the foundation of the coming of the Lord, has become an obstacle for the reason ever since 1945, Christianity declining. And for 40 years.
광야 이스라엘 민족이 가나안 복지 들어가는 세계 가나안 복지 도상을 지상 천국을 이루는 상고 40년 동안 완전히 광야에서 독수리 밥이 들어가고 있다는 이 세를 기업해서 들어가는 수 아니면 들어갔기 때문에 오늘 통일교회는 젊은이들이 기업에 들어오는 거예요. 젊은이가 됩니다.
So for 40 years, 1945,
이 세가 찾아 들어오는 것이다.
until 1985, the Christians are declining in such a way comparable to the Israel's exodus in wilderness. To 40 years, they become faithlessness and they become a prey of evil. By the same token, the Christianity of the world is declining. At the same time, God is pushing the young people to the unification church so that
이 세가 가난 독수리는 거 마찬가지로 1세는 독수리발 과외가 독수리발을 들어 이 세가 새로운 세계로 시행할 수 있는 시대의 운세를 맞이했다는 걸 알기 때문에
as you know, as much as
통일교회는 젊은이들이 들어오는 거예요.
first generation who came out of Egypt all died in the wilderness. Only the second generation was able to enter into the land of Canaan. By the same token, first generation Christianity is declining. Second generation, the youth of Unification Church is coming up and enter into Canaan. That is so-called Mooney Unification Church. This year, after the World War II, since 1945, 38 years. This is why Father declared a 3-year course until 1985, because that will complete the 40-year course.
민주세계 갈 길도 전부 다 이건 민주세계가 안 들어갔다. 공산세계도 안 들어갔다. 이제는 문이세계. 이 세계를 어떻게 이끌고 갈 것이냐.
The amazing thing is happening. Everything and everybody tried everything. Democratic world, they tried the democratic way of life. It doesn't work. Communism came out and they tried enforce their way of life. It doesn't work. Where they can turn? The unification movement, unification church, unification ideal is the only posing a hope to the troubled world. It's like a lantern of hope. And the truly one hope shining in the wilderness, unification ideal. Those who are the members of IOWC, Grace Anthony, Shofar, member of IOWC. Thank you.
그렇기 때문에 직장이든 뭐이든 책임자가 되다가 차버리고 선주에 달려가는 모세의 뒷동문에 따라가는 사람 빨리 따라가라 그래. 뒤에 떠오르는 책임자 차버리고 뛰어라 그래.
The most important thing now that you just mind one thing. Look at the Moses. and trying to leave yourself out of Moses. You hold Moses back tightly and hold tight. Never separate yourself. This is the secret how you can go through the wilderness. This is time of wilderness. You need a Moses. You have Moses.
센터식이야 뭐야 센터식이야.
So, what is the central figure?
All 센터식이야 is Father.
We have only one central figure in the Unification Church. That is Father.
생명을 각오하고 죽을 각오하지 않고는 가난 먹지 못 들어가는 세계 초종족적인 운동이 역사상의 처음이자 마지막 운동이라는 사실을 알아요.
I want you to understand that unification movement is Alpha and Omega, first and last. That is one movement of mobilizing the people, genuine people, mobilize the power, love, their power unto their life. They give their life and sacrifice moving forward into the land of Canaan. There's no such a movement in history on the unification movement. This is the first and the last.
이런 관점에서 세이탄 에셀루엘에서부터 피해나가는 지엘루엘을 넘어가기 위해서는 이런 생명을 각오하지 않고는 평간밖에 할 수 없다.
Our job is to get out of SL realm, and moving into GL realm, break through it. Until you give up your life to it, you won't make it.
여기서 뭐 조이풀 뭐 엔터테인먼트 아이웨이한데.
So it's not joyful way. It's not fun time. It is not entertainment time. There's a time to.
먹을 것이 없어 물이 먹지 말라. 먹을 것이 없어.
There's time for commitment.
내 쪽으로 죽여야 되고 내 쪽으로 죽을 것을 해야 되는 거야.
So internally and externally, you have to give yourself unto your life.
자기 소유라고 보따리가 자기 보따리가 전부 다 공동 소유야. 먹어도 같이 먹고 죽어도 같이 죽여.
Anything, there's no such a thing. It's my property, my thing. There's no such. It's ours. One mission, one common goal. Everything we eat together, sleep together, work together. We get there together.
세계 역사상에는 최후의 집시야. 최후의 집시.
So we are gypsy. I tell you, in history, the Moonies are the final gypsy, last gypsy.
That's true. 그래, 집시 좋아?
Do you like to be a gypsy?
고향을 다 잊어버리고 그저 먹을 거 찾아야 되는 사람들. 살길 찾아가는 거라. 우리는 영원한 살길을 찾아가는 거야.
So everybody,
세상은 육신 살길 찾아가는 거야.
in the world, they're gypsy too. They're going around and trying to gain a little money here and a little food there, a little shelter there, a little clothes there. They're going around and every day trying to get something for himself. We are gypsy, different kind of gypsy. We're going around to get the people into that heaven. We have a separate goal, different kind of goal, different kind of motivation, different kind of commitment.
생명 걸었어? 생명 걸었어?
So, are you committing your life to it? Yes or no?
누구를 위해서?
For whom? For whom?
그 다음에는
And after God, then what? For who?
만물을 위해서. 만물을 위해서.
For the whole thing. For the universe.
인류를 위해서.
For the humanity.
그러한 판도의 사랑을 넘지 못했던 나는 걸 피하기.
So we are going to leap forward.
인류와 만물권 사랑을 피하여 번영의 이 성포로 버리거든.
For the sake of all things, sake of humanity, we are going to leap and jump forward, leap out, reach out to the realm of love of God.
이제는 남미나 아프리카라도 제3세계권은 내버려놓는 사상 아니면 안 된다는 것이 지도적인 입장에 지금 등장하고 있는 거 알아?
The amazing thing, happening in all the different parts of the world, Central and South America, Africa, for example. They feel that only the Reverend Moon ideology, his worldview, his idea alone presents them hope. And do you know that? It's happening. What about you then? Where you are staying?
이 걸레짜박지 같은 거들, 히피, 이피, 이 똥꾸리 같은 것들 전부 다 막아서 이 사람들 만들어.
You come out of many of you come out of a human trash virtually, but you become remolded, recreated, re-put together. By doing so, you become a men and women with a vision, with a goal.
휴먼 트레스로서의 이거 지혜권을 말을 듣고 그것도 생각하고 그 말 듣는 것보다 해본 거야.
So many people were living under the human trust realm. You don't even talk about the GL law, GL way. You don't even think near about that.
간단한 거야. 그래서 이런 원칙이 있기 때문에 재물 역사가 시작됐다고 만물을 잡아 제 피 흘린 너를 모르는 걸 가서 사탄 세계의 생명을 거부해야만 하늘나라의 생명이 출현하기 때문에 재물 역사가 시작됐다.
The principle rather
그
simple.
역사는 물질 만물 재물 시대에 보라해야 돼. 똑똑히 알아야 돼.
So I want you to understand that the truth is that you must give up. You must sacrifice the satanic self in order to born into a heavenly self. And the first step, by offering the offering. That was the Old Testament tradition.
그 다음에는 너희는 메시아가 하나가 됐다면 거기서부터 점진적인 비약하여가 가지고 하나님의 사랑권에 올라가는데 죽음으로 말미암아 하나님의 아들이 재물 시대, 사람 재물 시대로 들어가는 건데 2000년 역사 기독교에서는 인간 재물, 아들을 재물 받아들이는 시대로 들어가는.
Then God sent the Messiah, Jesus Christ, 2,000 years ago. People accepted and united with him. Then there was a time to create this kingdom up there in the 2000 years ago.
살아서 영육을 중심 삼고 지혜권을 넘어설 수 있는 개인으로부터 가정권, 종교권, 민족권, 국가권, 세계권을 꿈을 가지고 왔던 예수는 사랑권, 이 문화 기반에 되어 있던 유대 나라와 유대 교회가 반대함으로 잃어버렸으니 할 수 없이 사탄군의 침해를 당한 것입니다. 제1의 명사를 넣어놓고 새로이 기독교를 중심하면 제2 이스라엘 창건 세계 무대로 출발하는 것이 기독교 역사의 앞이기 때문에 죽지 않았기 때문에 죽음으로 다가 치우는 거예요.
So therefore, the crucifixion was not the will of God. Crucifixion was not the mission of Jesus. Jesus wanted to create GL realm with a living, intact, physical body and soul together. The true parenthood wanted to be established in 2,000 years ago. When there was no such foundation, when he was crucified, that dream has been nullified. For the reason, the Christian history has been running toward the goal of Second Advent. What is the Second Advent? Second Advent is the time for fulfillment, real fulfillment of the GL way on earth, true parenthood.
죽음의 고개를 넘어가야 돼. 기독교 역사는 순교 역사를 하나님이 사랑하는 기독교의 부여했냐는 것을 모르고 믿고 있다는 거야.
So why then so many martyrdom during the Christianity? Because the Christians are supposed to go over that GL realm. In order to do that, they have to give up satanic realm.
그래서 재림 시대를 중상고 재림은 공중으로 구름타고 와 구름타는 거련의 사랑권이 어디 가고?
So then, when the Lord is coming, He's coming from the cloud of heaven. How can you create GL wave, physical impact here on earth, without being a physical man and woman? How can they become a true parent? No way.
하나님의 사랑을 중삼고 개인적인 번연의 사랑, 가정적인 번연의 사랑, 종족적인, 민족적인, 국가적인, 세계적인, 천주사적인 번연의 사랑권이 전부 다 잃어버리는데 그거 잃어버린 공중으로 주님이 와.
So the physical thing. Think of it. The Christian thinking that the Lord is coming in a cloud of heaven. That's like a fantasy. Because the thing that God lost was the real thing here on earth in a physical realm. The love of men, love of family, love of the individual, and the tribe and the world has been lost.
그들이 지금까지 40년 동안 내버려놓은 이단을 들춰겨왔지. 내가 망하지 않았어. 너희들은 내버려 망해가는 걸 보지만은 털교회는 단천을 열어.
So in order to restore such love, work must be done as a physical man, the real man. Reverend Moon has been doing the task for the 40 years. People are trying to destroy Reverend Moon so many different times, even now, but he will not be destroyed. Because the power of God is upon us. So history of Joseph is a very model history for the dispensation of God.
팔아먹는 노릇을 하고 있다는 거죠.
So 11 brothers,
잡아 죽일 노릇을 하고 있다는 거야.
11 elder brothers, what did they do?
뭐 백가죽이 이 빼자기에 붙게도 할 수 없이 털교회 쳐야 될 때 걸릴 것이다. 털교회는 여섯 축복 몇천배 해줄 것이다.
They sold his younger brother, Joseph. They were even trying to kill him. But they could not, they did not kill him after they sold him. What happened? The later, all 11 brothers, even including their parent, have to come to Joseph for survival, for salvation. The Unification Church today, Reverend Moon in particular, is in the position of Joseph. And the rest of the world, and particularly Christian denomination, are going to come like 11 elder brothers. They have been trying to kill Reverend Moon, but they will not succeed. At the same time, Reverend Moon would be in a position to save them, give them food, shelter, and eternal life. That's precisely what the history of Joseph is fulfilling by the Unification Church and Reverend Moon.
하나님이 하나님 나라 들어가게 되면 마다들을 어떤 타인을 사랑하고 야대를 사랑할 수 있는 천지의 원칙이 남아있는 나라이기 때문에 통일교회가 자자와 같은 자리에서 장자와 같은 유대교 그다음에 저희 기독교를 사랑할 수 있는 한교에 내서 사랑하고 나서 셋째 뺀 나온 통일교회 사랑받겠다고 하는 그것을 원리적 관에서 보고 있는 거다.
As Father already said, even though that history has been fallen, that the original pattern remaining. The God was supposed to love his elder son first. Elder son was Cain. Second son was Abel. Without loving elder son Cain, even though Cain is in the satanic side, you will not enter into heaven. This is Reverend Moon's precise policy and strategy. His ideal. Therefore, Reverend Moon, loving, even though they are trying to become an enemy of Reverend Moon, Father loved Jewish faith, Christian faith, loved them, and respect them as elder brothers, and we put ourselves in the younger brother's position, and are trying to love them and give them the blessing first.
이것이 산사랑이라 해놓고 말이야 막 살았을 때 몰라 나라의 법도를 몰라 가정의 법도를 몰라 부모의 그 법도를 모르니 대차 가르쳐줘야 되겠다.
Furthermore, they do not know the true ethic, the protocol of the heavenly kingdom. So they are the lawlessness. Therefore, we have to teach them also. Teach them principle. Guide them. Guide the elder brothers. All the Cain figures.
기독교 지도자들의 아들 딸은 이마 통일교회를 전부 다 향하고 두고 보내야 돼.
So you will wait and see. The second generation of Christian churches, those young people, sons of the ministers, daughters of ministers, they will all more join, instead of their church, they want to come to Unification Church. Those who were the Christian before, you belong to certain Christian denomination before you joined the Unification Church. Raise hand, please. Show Father. So, why did you come? You go back to your church? Go ahead. Go ahead. Go away. Why no? And your parents are saying that the Unification Church is heretic. Why did you come to heretical church?
God is here.
The last day, one of the phenomena of the final day is that truth looks like a false. False looks like truth. This kind of confusion. People could not find the criteria of the truth and false. So last they come, they treat the false thing as a true thing. They treat the true thing as a false thing. That's what we are treated, mistreated. How can you know the truth or false? How can you distinguish yourself? You are the true one and the false one. How can you know? How can Father know? There's only one way to go, one way of testing. That put into a furnace, burning furnace, and put into a melting pot. Because if you are the false, fake, or burnt up, nothing remains, only ashes. But if you are really genuine like gold, stay there. Even the furnace fire would not diminish you. You follow Father. That's what the Unification Church is doing. Unification Church is doing. Father is putting everybody into burning, fearful furnace. Furnace and the melting pot.
왜?
Therefore.
영광로에 들어가는 날은 다 도망 없어지고 만다고.
Because therefore the ordinary the Christian faith would not compete with the Unification Church. Because they would not remain. They would not go into that furnace together. They would not remain there. They could not have that. Because
도관에 들어갈수록 좋은 거야. 한 번 들어가는 게 좋아, 두 번 들어가는 게 좋아.
so what do you think? You are going to be, hardened. Going into the melting pot and a furnace, one time is better, or twice is better, or three times better? The more the better, or what?
More the time is more the what? Great gospel. Great gospel. 어때? 이건 왜 문의들을 잡아다가 말이야. 미국에서 고생시고 말이야. 그것도 한국보다 동양에다 고생시고 그것도 보다 아프리카도 더 고생시고 아이 그것도 보면서 오션 바다에 가서 고생시고 아이고 바다에 가서.
So Father has such an incredible scheme to put you in furnace. Father prepared many, many furnaces and bring all the money to the United States for fundraising, witnessing. Here's another furnace. But that's not enough. To bring it back to Korea, IWC in Korea and Japan, that's another furnace. And then that's not enough. So Father created another furnace in Africa. Send them to African jungle and to sleep with the poison snake. And that is a pretty good furnace. But that is not enough. So Father created Ocean Church. Bring everybody.
제일 무서운 것이 이제 뭐냐, 멜팅 파트가 뭐냐면 오션 처치,
Toughest, the hardest and toughest melting pot is Ocean Church. Ocean.
저 오션 처치 좋아하는 사람 손 들어봐.
Anybody those who like the Ocean Church, raise hand, please.
요 살아나는 거야. 그다음 뭐라 그랬으냐? 총 없이 문을 씌워가지고 사단을 시작한다. 사단을. 그래서 저 그걸 준비하라고 내 미사관 과거인데 이미 지령을 했다. 사단. 총 없이 선 가지고 사단을 시작.
So the final level of the melting pot is going to be in Africa. Safari. However, you listen to this. But you are not going to the jungle to fight against the tigers and a lion with rifle. No rifle, bare hand. Like a Daniel, lion's den. You'll be put into the lion's den.
문가 몇 마리 남겠느냐? 진짜 이래버리면 진짜 미쳤구나. 저거 미쳤구나.
So by that point, probably most of the Moonies will say, well, this is it. No more. I think Reverend Moon is crazy. So I know now he's crazy. So Father looking forward to see how many people and the men and women will become a remnant and survivor from the lion's den.
How about that? 그래야 축구 좋아하는 사람 산다고 했으니 그거 죽으려고 진짜가 그 사자 입에 들어가니까 사자가 안 먹으라고 진짜 사지.
So, but the true Moonie, even though thrown into the lion's den, it happened in the biblical history. The Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, and the lion become a friend. And all of it, you're really genuine Moonie, you become a friend of lion.
그렇게 나가는 사자가 난 그렇게 나간다. 그렇게 알고 죽으면 쳐 나간다.
So, when your lion is to come upon you, then you said, my dear, let's kiss. And lion is not going to bite you. And he will embrace with your love.
우리는 그런 기적을 많이 체험하고 있다고 알아가?
And we are going to create the miracle. A lot of miracle.
Not create, experience.
Experience a lot of
many miracles.
A lot of miracle.
그 사람이 사실 그렇다면 사실 그렇다면 그 동참할 사람 선대.
So really, that is really the case. I have all faith. I'm absolutely always faithful. Semper Fidelis. Those that are Semper Fidelis who think I can go that far, raise hand please. Those who can go that far. Always faithful.
이렇게 되는 날은 말. Everything doing well. Everything doing well. 이런 결론이 나온다고.
So that means this kind of commitment you have, the Father said, everything is doing well. everything will be all right. No power under the sun can deter such commitment.
그때 하나님이 그 사자들이 하늘나라의 천사고 하늘나라의 궁녀들이 되고 하늘나라의 아들, 딸 일정을 띄워올 것이다.
At that point, the God will send a special envoys, ambassadors, and the palace, prince and princess will come, and
가정하라 위장 disguise.
disguise.
사전으로 가는 거야.
So actually, those who are, when you entered the lion's den, you saw there was a lion or tiger. All of a sudden, you found they are the angels of God.
그러니까
They were the princess of God. So all of a sudden, they reveal their true nature. That is the loving angels of God, ambassador of God. So initially you thought the lion is coming upon you, but immediately you found they are truly the angel and the ambassador of God. You truly can embrace without fear. Problem is, you can have that kind of faith. You can go up to that level.
Strong kiss.
So that point you can have a strongest kiss you can make.
그럴 수도 있다. 하나님을 모셔보라. 우리는 그런 신앙을 갖고 그런 신앙. 그래서 저 이번에도 이제 아라스카 같은 데서 야야야 건들 시켜라. 총만 내 손을 신앙으로 총각을 해라. 앞으로 총 없애라.
So father went to Alaska and there was some wild hunting, bear hunting. Everybody said, well, we don't have a gun ready. We don't have a rifle. What are you talking about? We don't need a gun. You need two hands. Let's go out and have a bear hunting.
너들 웰컴이야 뭐야 어때?
So, do you want to go with the father? Welcome? Bear hunting with a bare hand?
So Reverend likes you.
What about? Well, it's Reverend Moon, goes that way. I go that way. Well, you go that way. Father will go that way. Vice versa.
그 자리에 나가봐야 너희 동지가 얼마나 중하고 말이야. 서로가 생명을 앞에서 희생하다가 할 수 있는 동지를 볼 때 하나님이 멀시 사탄은
So,
이런 당신의 사람이 당신의
In-
사람 걸렸어.
when you are truly, seriously speaking, when you are in danger, then there was a spirit, the men and women who are competing each other to first sacrifice their own life for the sake of their fellow men. If that kind of beautiful spirit is created, Satan first retreat.
그 알았어?
And God come and bow down.
너 알았어?
Do you follow? Yeah?
알았어 몰랐어?
Do you follow? Yes or no?
어떻게 클리하게 알았어? 이제
Do you know Father's message this morning clearly or vague?
네? 클리어. 자, 그래서 이제 한 방은 끝났다고.
So chapter 1 now is over.
챕터 2 할까 이제?
Shall we go on chapter 2?
이런 기본 상식이 없어가지고는 이제 챕터 2를 말로 기본 사실을 확실히 해놓고 챕터 2로 넘어가는 거야.
So Father would like to have chapter 1 ready, giving you a fundamental, basic understanding. Then move on to advanced lesson. Advanced.
무슨 단의 날이야? 무슨 단의 날?
All right. Today, it's Children's Day. What kind of Children's Day? What Children's Day? Voila.
True children. True children.
Yes, that's true. True children.
True children이야?
So are you true children?
아까 트루 칠드는 어떻게 되냐면 GL로브를 파운데이션 해가지고 태어나고 거기서 자라고 거기서 커가지고 결혼하고 다 이래야 그 본래의 GL 칠드런이라고야.
So Father said the definition of the true children must be born in GL foundation, then grown up in a GL foundation, married in a GL foundation, and become a children of God in GL foundation. From the very origin.
너희들은 뭐야?
What about you?
너희들은 뭐야?
What about you?
참된 부모님한테 태어났어? 부모님한테 참된 부모님 태어났어?
So were you born of true parent?
태어났다고 하는 거지 태어날 수는 없는 거야. 알겠어? 그래서 오늘날 통일교에서 말하는 탕감 조건 말이 위대하기가 없으면 너희들이 태어날 수도 없는 거야. 탕감 조건이 있으면 태어났다고 할 수 없다는 사실이라는 거야.
So you're already born. You know, you already become a reality. Your life is a real reality on earth. So you cannot go back to reprocess it to be born again. So unification is find the truth. How can we achieve the same goal? By condition of indebtedness.
너희들은 모르지만 통일교 역사 가운데 어머니 뱃속의 어머니가 13 아들 딸을 낳으면서 그 뱃속에 있는 아들들과 하나 됐다는 쌍둥이와 같은 신정적 인연을 지금까지 묶고 오기에 노력했다는 사실이다.
So the true parents and the true father and mother gave physical 13 children birth. 13 children. So when the children are growing within the mother's womb, all the Unification Church members, although you exist physically outside of that mother's womb, but you become like a twin. You feel like a twin. With the twin together with the
세계에서는 불가능했다. 아시아에 있는 36가족이라든가 제일 가까운 신정권에 처한 사람들이 그런 교육을 해서 그렇게 알고 기도하고 그렇게 해서 세계를 기도해놨다는 사실 아니에요.
So in a Western world, that kind of concept is very strange and difficult to accept. But in the Orient, particularly elder members of the Unification